My name is Jennifer Brown. I'm the director of Baca Wines, and I'm so excited to be hosting another happy hour with you. Today we have an awesome guest. His name is Ryan Klarenbach. He's a professional fitness model as well as a stunt double. He performs a lot of amazing physical feats, and he also has a new fitness company that I'll be able to talk to him about here today. We're going to be trying our Baca Double Dutch Zinfandel, one of my personal favorite Zinfandels from down in Paso Robles. And it's just going to be a really fun show. Looks like Ryan is here, so I'll bring him with me. While we're waiting, I'd love to tell you that our tasting room in Healdsburg is now going to be open 7 days a week. So we
What's
would love
up?
to
How's
host
it
you
going?
whenever you want to come by. Hey, Ryan.
Really good. I'm excited
Good. How are you
to
doing
be
today?
a guest on your guys' your show. I'm excited.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers.
Well, first things first,
Nice to meet you as
cheers. So
well.
nice to meet you. Yeah. Mm. So, yeah, what were you
Today,
up
so
to
I have
today?
some projects coming up. So I'm in the process of doing rehearsals.
Mhm.
Just kind of getting the choreo down, making choreo, and doing that kind of stuff. So staying
Cool.
busy, which is good. But yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, you are such a prolific fitness, well, not just fitness, but also performer. You
I
do so many
appreciate it.
different things, such a versatile career. I would love to know how you got in. How did you start your career? Did you first start as a fitness model or did you first start as a personal trainer? How
So
did you first get into this business?
I've really been into, well, where should I start? Okay, so I guess yeah,
I don't know,
growing up,
the
I
very
was
beginning.
always I had like pretty bad ADD. Focusing in school and everything was really hard for me. I
Mhm.
was always an active kid, but my mom decided to put me into sports at a really young age. Um, and that's kind of where I was able to like channel
Yeah.
all of my extra energy. But was doing sports for a really long time, and
Mhm.
I was living in Hawaii at the time, and somebody reached out about a modeling job over in Oregon, and
Cool.
I kind of done some like modeling stuff here and there, but I wasn't like wanting to pursue it at the time. Came to Oregon. I got signed with the agency that I'm with now, and then started. My very first job was they flew me to San Francisco, and I was doing working for Adidas, and then I started working for Nike at their headquarters, along with the
Cool.
designers and doing the shows. From there, I kind of just fell in love with the modeling, not because so much of like the modeling aspect of it, but it was a way for me to channel and like put all of my experience in sports into something, and like see myself in stores and online. And that's kind of where it started. And then from there, it was just always
Yeah.
something I knew that I wanted to do, from a really young age. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. And then moved to LA and started doing like the personal training, started doing the
Hmm.
fitness and incorporating a lot of different movements
Cool.
into workouts. I was always seeing people in the gym doing things, but I come
Yeah.
from a background where I was playing like soccer and I was getting into gymnastics and breakdancing and just movement in general. I was really passionate about, and I was like, how
Mhm.
can I like be creative and bring just fitness in general together? You know what I mean? So started doing these videos, and it kind of turned into something pretty special. Opened a lot of doors for me. So
Yeah. Oh, you're so right. The videos that you produce they
yeah,
are addicting, quite frankly. Like the movements that you do, the music, I mean the whole thing. I mean, you could just I'm sure all of your followers who are here can chime in on this, but just like you
I
could watch them
appreciate
over
it.
and over. They're beautifully produced. Who who films
I do have a
them? Do you
videographer
have a
now,
production
but
crew
before
that
when it
helps you or
started, I started with
yeah.
my best friend Scott Matheson, and we kind of did the same thing. But we would just have ideas. We lived
Oh,
together at the time when I first moved to LA, and he would go into his room and we would watch like fitness videos. I would come in, go in mine before I go to sleep, and then we'd wake up in the morning and I'd be like, dude, I have this idea for this and that, and then we just go out and film it. But it always started with like,
yeah.
I'll be at the gym sometimes, or I'll be working out and I'll hear a song, and I'm like, ooh, and there's like a beat drop in this song and a build up, and in my mind, I kind of like, I'm like, how can I make movement to match the song, you know? And it kind of inspires me that way, and then we kind of get there and like do our thing. But that's how it started, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people are chiming in. They just love the story that you shared about how your mom channeled your ADD into strength. And someone else just wrote they were really jealous of me getting to
Yeah,
interview right
it
now.
was a yeah,
Um,
it was a
but
challenging thing. They wanted to put me on was it Ritalin? I think that's what it was. Yeah, and my
Ritalin, I
mom was
think, is
just like,
the
she's like,
ADD
no, you're not
medicine.
gonna do that
Yeah.
to my son, whatever. So, yeah, once I was able to like really hone in on something where I could be active and channel all the energy I had, it was a game changer for me, and I
Yeah.
knew I was like, this is what I need to be doing from like a really young age. So yeah, it's great. It's been really great.
That's awesome. Do you
I've actually
still deal
mellowed
with
out a
ADD
lot
now?
than a lot more than I did before. I think it really gets to
Awesome.
me when I'm like just sitting. You know what I mean? I'm like not doing anything. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a lot better than it used to
Mm-hmm.
be. And I'm always working out or doing some sort of like active
Yeah.
stuff, so I think that really helps.
Oh, I can't even
Oh
imagine. I
my,
mean,
I
you
sleep
must
too
sleep
much.
so well.
Yeah,
Like the
I sleep
exercises
too
that you
much.
do. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. Like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, well you should. I mean, the amount of energy that you expel in a
yeah.
given day that's like just amazing. I
Yeah,
mean, even
it's
watching
crazy
one
because
video,
a
I know
lot
that's
of
just a
people,
portion of your
I
day.
used to share it a lot
So,
more than I did before, but um, some of the like if I do a video that's like 40 seconds, right? It's usually it's very very challenging and
mhm.
it's doing a lot of stuff and it takes a lot of time for me to get actually how I want it, right? So just making those little videos that are like 40 seconds takes so long, you know, like sometimes I'll get it the first try, but most of the time
Oh,
I'm
I
just
bet.
spent and I'm using like every single, ounce of energy I have. But yeah, I don't stop until I get it. I'm like, let's do it. So I'll just crash when I get home. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I bet. That's amazing. Well, I know people know you from your Instagram fitness videos that you make, but also something I think is really interesting about you is that you've also done a lot
Mhm.
of stunts
Yeah.
in films and other productions. I was hoping you could talk a little bit about that, how you got into
Um,
it and what you like about it.
well, when I was growing up, I would, I think every boy at some point watched the Jackie Chan movies in the bedroom or Power Rangers or Batman or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I always wanted
Mm-hmm.
to, I was always creating these little fight scenes in my room when I was little and breaking sweat. I remember one time I was watching a video. It was really
Yeah.
little, and I think it was a Jackie. It was like one of the first time I saw this movie called Rumble in the Bronx with Jackie Chan, and I remember I just made this choreo, and I did it to the point where I was like sweating. I was like 6 or 7 or 8. But yeah, I always wanted to do it, and once I moved to LA, I started meeting people who were actually stuntmen, and I was like, wait, this is actually something I could pursue, but I didn't know how about there's no like
Yeah.
real classes or stuff that you can take like a normal job. So it really was about me going in and just learning different skill sets and meeting people who are in the industry
Mm-hmm.
and kind of going from there. But it's really fun. And what I really like about stunts
Cool.
is um, I like to do like the fights, right? So um, not so much like there's stunts where you can be burned or on fire or jumping off things, and it's kind of varies on what you're doing, but I really was really drawn to like the fight scenes and stuff, and I got to learn like martial arts and tricking and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So yeah, it's been great. My first ever job was
Oh, that's
a
so cool.
show that Chris Brown is producing. So he was on set. I got to meet him, which is crazy, as like my first job. And then I got to do something for Batman. So I was getting beat up by Batman, which is crazy. And yeah, it was great. It was cool.
Yeah, that must have been a dream.
I have a nephew who like really looks up to me, and he's always like watching, me do these things, and so it's really cool to like be able to do that and share that passion that I have. But
Yeah.
my first movie role was GI Joe's, which was pretty recent. That was another thing. I used to watch GI Joes as a child, and yeah, it's been
Congratulations.
really great.
So
It's been
cool.
a really fun journey, and I'm still learning a lot. And it's yeah, pushes me to work harder, which I love. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. A couple of your fans are saying, or some people watching are saying that your audio is delayed, and so I'm thinking that I
Let's do it.
might
Yeah,
remove
let's do
you
it.
and then you could
Absolutely.
request to
Okay.
join back in case that's better.
Okay.
Okay, let me remove you. Thanks everyone for telling us that that Ryan's audio was delayed. So hopefully this will work better for you. And then also, if anyone has any questions for Ryan, please chat them. I'm happy to ask Ryan any questions. I know that a lot of you guys are huge fans of his. Okay, let us know everyone
How
if
is
this is
it?
any better. You were always good on my end, so
Okay.
hopefully
Yeah,
it's
I can
better
hear
for other
you
people.
really great.
Okay, great. Um,
Cool.
that is such a fascinating career, and I bet when you were doing Batman, it probably was just this sort of like, oh my goodness moment. Like, here I am. Like, I can't believe
Yeah.
it must have been surreal.
Yeah. I think the first that was really really crazy for me. Really cool. But I feel like the first time where I was like, oh wow, I'm like actually, doing this
Mm-hmm.
was that's my mom, by the way. Hey mom. Oh, Karen,
Oh,
what's up?
hey Ryan's mom.
Um, it's the first time I really like it was like a surreal moment was when I was on set for GI Joe's. I did my part, and the main actress takes me out with an arrow or whatever. So I'm laying on the ground, finishing the scene, and I'm like looking up on my back, and I'm like looking at like the stars, and I like look around, and I'm like, wait, I'm on set. It was crazy. That was
Yeah.
like the first time it like really hit me, and I was
Oh,
like, dude,
that's
I'm
so
actually doing
cool.
this. So yeah.
That's so cool. Well, I'm sure you've done a lot of really cool stunts. Like, what is like one of the craziest stunts you've ever done? Like,
The
where you look back and you're like,
craziest
maybe I shouldn't have done that.
um, was probably I did a stunt where there was like a fight scene that was taking place in the back of a van, and I was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to. So the scene was there's a little fight scene, there's a struggle, and then I break out of the van and then fall out of the van while it's driving. So I had to jump out of the van like on concrete, going like 35 miles an hour.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
yeah,
That's
that was a
crazy.
real yeah.
So what did you do? Did you just drop and roll? Or what, how
So
did
we
you do that?
practice. Um,
Oh
we
my
practice
gosh.
like hitting the ground, how you're supposed to land. I'm padded up head to toe. We
Yeah.
started out. I had like a helmet on. We're going like 10 miles an hour. Then once I was comfortable, then we go like 15 and slowly go.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, when we open, so we like open the door for the van, and then once like if you're like standing on the street watching a van go by 35 miles an hour, it doesn't look that fast. But when you're in the van watching the concrete go by,
Oh
that's when
my
I was
God.
like, oh gosh, that was one of those things where like they're counting down like 3, 2, you just gotta send it. So did
Yeah.
that, um, and that was crazy. That was probably the most intense one. We did it like 3 times just because I didn't like the way I rolled out. So
Oh, you
yeah,
did it
that was
again?
crazy.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah, yeah, that was
Wow.
really intense. But
So do you just really get, you must get an adrenaline high when you do these
oh
kinds of
yeah,
stuff then.
absolutely, yeah. It's
Yeah.
one of
Is
those
it,
things where like yeah, you especially once the camera and they start counting down, then you're like, you know what I mean? It's for
ah,
sure adrenaline. Depending on the stunt too, even like if you're doing something that's not as like physically demanding, once the
mhm.
cameras and lights are on and there's people on set waiting for the shot and you have choreo that you're remembering and then you have to like also act and then respond to the other person. There's a lot going on, so it's a huge
Yes.
adrenaline rush for sure.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
can't imagine. Well,
yeah,
okay, there's a lot of other questions I want to ask you, but before I
yeah,
do,
yeah,
maybe I will tell you about this wine and then we'll come back to me asking you more
yeah,
about your career.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the wine that Ryan and I are tasting today is our double Dutch wine. It's one of my favorites. I actually thought when I was choosing the wine for today, I thought it might be fun to have a double Dutch wine for someone who does stunt doubling. I know that's not the main part of your
Love
career,
that.
but I thought that would be clever. But it's also a really versatile wine, so it goes really well with like everything from like salad to like this like the meatiest steak you can imagine, or on its own. And I thought that was perfect for you too, because you're such a versatile performer, fitness person,
I appreciate that.
educator. So I thought this would be a great fit for us. And it's just a really nice wine. So it's a Zinfandel from a vineyard in Paso Robles, which is in between where you and I are, because you're in LA,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Paso Robles is a little bit far north from you, or a little bit northern of you, but it's an awesome area. It gets a lot of really great fruit. I really get a lot of cherry on this wine and also some black pepper. And it's just a really good food wine. So,
It's great.
so I thought
It's
we could
really
taste
good.
this together.
Yeah, it's really great.
Wonderful. And I know you love red wine. What do you look for in wines when you drink wine?
I like something that's smooth. I don't like too much of a acidic taste. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm still learning a lot about the wines. But I usually go for something a little bit smoother. I like the reds. Usually go for like a nice Merlot or a Cab.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We make Merlot. So my family, this is my family's winery, and we've been in the wine business for a long time. And our sister label is called Hall, where we make Cabernet and Merlots. And Merlot got a bad rap for a while, but Merlot is also a wonderful wine.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you may not remember this, but there was a movie that came out a while back called Sideways,
I don't think I've heard
where
of that one.
oh, okay. Well, there was this sort of silly sort of sentiment that Merlot was kind of a boring wine for a little while, but it's not. It's a really great wine. Because there was this one movie that was popular where people talked about how it was boring. You should watch it. You might really enjoy it. It's called
Yeah,
Sideways.
I'll check it out.
It's about wine country in Santa Barbara, but yeah, no, this is my one of my favorite wines we make. It's a Zinfandel. Zinfandel is one of the oldest grapes in California. It was planted a long time ago, and is a lot of art history too of grapes in California. My grandparents' original vineyards were all Zinfandel, so it's really a fun
Interesting.
wine.
I
Yeah.
heard something a while back. So I used to bartend back in the day.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
so there's a difference, right? With the wine you use, the skin, right, is for something different than the actual wine itself, right? Or the grape itself. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the
Actually,
different
the
classes of wine.
yeah. So there's different kinds of grapes. So there's Merlot grapes, Cabernet grapes, Zinfandel grapes, and then also the
Those are the
skin
types of
itself.
grapes. Okay.
Yeah, so there are actually different kinds of berries, and then the skin is really important, and that's probably what you were talking about. Is depending on how much of the skin you use, it can change what the wine looks like. You can actually make white wine from red grapes if you take the skin off immediately,
Yeah.
because all the color comes from the skin. So if you take
Right.
the skin off, it'll be a white wine. If you leave the skin on for a long time when you're doing the winemaking, it makes a red wine. And if you leave the skin in contact for a little bit, it makes a rosé. So that's kind of the power of the skin.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah.
Good. Good to know.
Um,
I'm gonna drop
I
that
bet you
knowledge
were,
on somebody.
yeah. Um, okay, so back to my other questions. I'd love to know about your business. Can you tell everyone a little bit more about it?
So I'm getting into personal training. I do have a
Oh,
program that I recently launched with OpenFit. It's a 60-day, uh, no equipment required body weight program.
cool.
Also have my website, ryanklarenbach.com. That's still in development. There's a lot of stuff with quarantine when it happened. I had released my website right when it happened, so I had to change all the workouts from gym-based to body weight. Um, and I also have something coming up. I'm working with Jillian Michaels and her crew. She's the OG, so I'm super
Yeah,
excited.
I
That's
remember her from the
going
Vegas
on.
episode. Cool.
Open Fit. Someone said Oprah Fit. Open Fit.
Oh, and that's my mom actually who's watching too. So both of our
Oh,
moms
really?
are on here. Yeah.
But yeah, so that is what I have going on right now. But yeah,
Cool.
definitely check out ryanklarenbach.com. I have meals, workouts, body weight, weighted, all that. So,
Yeah, it looks like you do like meal planning or
hmm
meal prep planning, right, for people and
yeah,
get them fitness workouts.
yeah, it's very, very important. I feel like a lot of people don't. They'll do the gym side of it, but then don't have the nutrition to back it up, which is
Mm-hmm.
super important. So that balance of both is super key. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you do personal training for people in person, are most of your clients, I know maybe you don't have as many now, but are people mostly trying to lose weight or just get fitter? Or you probably get people that are trying to become super athletes, I imagine.
Most of the
Do
stuff
you?
that I do is online based. But
Yeah.
most of the people that approach me are usually trying to um, get more lean
Hmm.
or build muscle. But it's a hard thing right now. Body weight workouts can only go so far, especially if you're trying to gain mass. Um,
Yeah.
so right now, I feel like people are just, with everything going on, gyms being closed, they're reopening now, but everybody's just trying to maintain and stay healthy, in these
Yeah.
times, which is hard, finding ways to work out and staying motivated and all that kind of stuff, it's very hard sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Uh,
Well, but it seems like in your buddy workouts that you do,
mm-hmm.
you can get a lot of weight from other people. Like I saw you doing the push up on, or someone was doing a push up on
With
your
Scott?
back.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my God,
yeah.
that was
Well,
intense.
yeah, we would definitely we come up with ways, If there's a will, there's a way. So we usually find out ways to do it. And sometimes you have to be kind of innovative in the way you're training and think outside the box for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, this has been so fun to talk to you.
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of last thoughts to share with everyone who follows you and wants to hear anything from you?
Um, I appreciate everybody that follows me, and I want to continue to be a motivation for people out there. I need motivation just as much as other people, and people seeing that I motivate people motivates me as well. So I just want to thank everybody for being amazing, and yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's been so nice to get to know you, Ryan.
yeah.
Cheers. Hope you have a great rest
Cheers.
of your day.
Thank you
Oh,
for
you.
the wine. I have a lot in stock now, so I'm
Oh,
gonna be
good.
trying. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Appreciate it.
Good. You're so welcome. Okay,
Thank
well,
you very
hopefully
much.
see you soon. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, bye,
Bye.
Ryan.
Bye.
Well, that was so wonderful. Ryan Klarenbach, everybody. He is amazing. If you don't know him, make sure to check out his videos. Also, please follow us at Baca Wines. We have wonderful happy hours like this almost every week. And please be sure to visit us in Healdsburg for a tasting. All right, until then, bye bye.